Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. The updated and expanded second edition of my book, The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments, is now available. Readers can expect to march with Arnie's Army at the 1960 U.S. Open, relive Jack Nicklaus's remarkable 1986 Masters win, and be amazed by the Tiger Slam. The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments. Pick it up where fine books sold, including BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com.
Thrive Suite Productions. And welcome back to This Day in Sports History. It's February 3rd, and on this day in 1993, Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott was suspended from baseball and fined $25,000. Marge Schott was born in Cincinnati in 1928 and said she was a fan of the Reds for most of her life. After her industrialist husband died in 1968, she inherited millions of dollars and multiple car dealerships. She bought a minority interest in the Reds in 1981, and then in 1984 spent $11 million to buy controlling interest in the club, making her the managing general partner. She was an outspoken owner and highly visible, choosing to sit in a regular box seat at Riverfront Stadium instead of an owner's box. She endeared herself to fans by keeping ticket and concession prices down. But she also did not like paying players, especially if you weren't playing due to injury. She griped about paying Jose Rio $3 million to sit on his butt after he injured his elbow. She famously refused to pay for Eric Davis's surgery after he lacerated his kidney in Game 4 of the 1990 World Series, which the Reds won in a sweep over the Oakland A's. And that injury and the timeliness of getting it taken care of ended up shortening his career. She was well known for not spending money. Schott didn't like paying scouts or even hiring them, saying they don't do anything except sit around and watch baseball games. She shut down customer service and community relations offices within the club. Sports writer Rick Riley wrote an article about her, saying she would rummage through garbage cans to see if scrap paper was written on both sides. She demanded lights be turned off in offices, even if the person was just going down the hall and coming right back. She wanted the thermostat turned down to 55 degrees at 5 o'clock every day. Now, there's a story about her once tossing a coin to settle a contract issue. She made baseball decisions, even though she didn't know many of the players' names. And then there was the racism, which is what many remember about her and which led to her suspension. It started with the firing of former Reds controller Tim Sabo. Sabo overheard and then testified to limited partners that Marge called players Dave Parker and Eric Davis $1 million, followed by a racial epithet. Sabo was fired a short time later, in which he sued Schott for wrongful termination due not only to his testimony, but his displeasure with Schott's unwritten but well-understood rule against hiring black people. It also emerged that Schott kept a Nazi armband at home and had said about a Jewish employee, "Those sneaky Jews are all alike." Oakland A's executive assistant Sharon Jones heard Schott say on an owner's conference call that she would rather have a trained monkey working for me than a black person, but instead of black person, she once again used the racial epithet. After meeting for 8 hours in Chicago on this day, Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig made the announcement that Schott had been reprimanded and censured in the strongest terms for her use of racially and ethnically insensitive language. Ms. Schott's practice of using language that is racially and ethnically offensive has brought substantial disrepute and embarrassment to the game, and it is not in the best interest of baseball, said Selig. Now, he added that the council voted to suspend Schott by a unanimous vote of 10-0 and fined her $25,000, which was the largest allowable at the time. Her ban was not immediate, though. It did not go into effect until March 1st, and she was reinstated November 1st. That wasn't the end of her controversial hot takes, though. In 1998, during an interview with ESPN, she praised Hitler, after which Major League Baseball brought the hammer down harder, forcing her to give up day-to-day control through the 1998 season. She sold the franchise in April of '99, in large part to what started on this day back in 1993. Also on this day, in 1876, former baseball pitcher Albert Spalding started a new sporting goods store with his brother in Chicago with an $800 investment. In today's money, that's only about $25,000. That led to more stores and eventually into manufacturing sporting goods equipment such as baseball gloves, baseballs, basketballs, volleyballs, golf balls, and much more. No doubt if you have played any ball sport in your life, you have played with a Spalding at one time or another. And in 2008, the New York Giants knocked off the previously undefeated New England Patriots 17-14. The game's winning drive included a 4th-and-1 conversion, a near Patriots interception, Giants receiver David Tyree's incredible catch pinned to his helmet for a 3rd-down conversion, and then Plaxico Burress reeled in an Eli Manning pass with 35 seconds to go to score the go-ahead touchdown, spoiling the Patriots' attempt to equal the 1972 Dolphins as the only team to go through the entire season undefeated. That's all for today. More tomorrow on This Day in Sports History.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, a.k.a. the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.